E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories TV show. Live streaming now to millions of devices around the world on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook live streaming. Our shows are available video on demand on these channels. And we broadcast daily, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on these channels. On Mondays, expanding your business. Tuesdays, finding health naturally. Wednesdays, mentoring our youth. Thursdays, pets we love. And on Fridays, women in leadership. Brought to you by our producers and hosts, Jim Grant and Donna Guimwa. Along with our host, Beata Severin Reed and Emerson Brantley. Supported by our admin team of Michaela Vidal and Gaia Guimwa Balconi Hueda.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Messages of Inspirational Stories. Jim, so excited to be here today.
I am too, because ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you. We're going to put our heart into this show, all of us. But ladies and gentlemen, our show is proudly brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. And on Thursdays, we're going to be having a very, very special presentation starting probably this week, if not next week, ideas worth knowing. And it is going to be a barnstormer. You'll be able to get, I'm going to show you a link in a few minutes as we play the ticker tape or the marquee down there. You're going to be able to register there for free and get 10 books, no gimmicks, no games, it ain't going to be like the old days for us baby boomers where you pay 97 cents and get, what was it, 6 or 10 records, Marseille or Columbia House?
You got 10, right. You got 10 records. And then when the bill came due, the fine print was that you owe $49.99 for the other 12.
That's right. That's right. I mean, we don't play that game here. You want to know why? Because we don't have to, number one. Number two, we got morals, values, and ethics, and we like to treat people just like we want to be treated whenever someone does business with us. And let me put up that website a little bit here. And we got it on a ticker tape here somewhere. With all these ticker tapes down here, we need to take about 29 of them off the list here. Donna's looking for it too. Anyway, we're going to continue on. I'm going to find it. But it's all about ideasworthknowing.com. And I'll get the link up there for you. But you can go there and you can register for free, no strings attached, no sales gimmicks or anything to follow up on. And you can get 10 books that's been produced by Mike Lewis. Mike has over 1,500 authors that are best-selling authors on Amazon. Right. And if you'd like to write a book, Donna, this thing is amazing. Most people don't write a book. They sit down and they start typing and they get writer's cramp, brain cramp, whatever you want to call it. All you just have cramps. Just, aggravation and all those wonderful things. But all you have to do is just simply be interviewed by Mike Lewis. That's it. He will convert it into text. He will edit it. And if you're like me, you're going to be like popcorn popping around on a hot stove. Oh, yeah, let me tell you about this. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Blah, blah. And that's fine because all that's edited out. Main thing is to get the story down. And that's all you have to do.
Nuts and bolts of it down.
Yeah, that's it. And he'll put it together and he will convert it into a Amazon bestseller, and you'll get a plaque. You'll get a picture frame, a frame picture with a plaque, and the picture of your view on the cover of your book. And think about the credentials that would give you when someone comes to your website or they walk into your business or whatever. It's just tremendous, isn't it, Donna? There it really is. The complimentary library card. Just go to ideasworthknowing.com. That's the name of it. Donna's sharp today.
All right, you're a little slow on the update, brother. It's been up there for a couple minutes.
Oh, is it? Well, I've been looking at. Well, we got a great guest today. We've had this gentleman on before, have we not?
Yes, we have. We have. Super excited about today's
Oh,
show.
yeah. This man has been very instrumental in my health, and he pointed out an issue I had with my heart before I had my heart attack, and it. He's going to talk a little bit about that scanner too. But without further ado, let's see if we can get the professor himself, Dr. George Grant, here on the line. And I think he's sitting there. Oh yeah, he is sitting there and enjoying himself. Look at him. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Jim. Thanks, my brother from the other mother.
That's right. We're brothers by different mothers, and Donna and I, all of us, we're all brothers and sisters by different mothers. Let's just get down to reality here.
By different misters.
That's right. Yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully. But today we're going to be talking about our hearts. And, heart health, very, very important. Did you know back in 2009, Donna and Professor Grant, I don't know if you know this or not, but in 2009, the UCA medical department actually published a report that 75% of the patients who wind up in the ER with a heart attack had no previous issues, no red flags. And that was me. My blood pressure was
Right.
good. My cholesterol was 73 2 years before my heart attack. In the hospital after my heart attack, it was at 93. My triglycerides were a little bit high, but that was the only thing the blood test showed. And I wound
Right.
up with a mild heart attack in the hospital with blood pressure 190 over 111. I had to have open heart surgery, 4 bypasses. And I tell people now, I'm thankful that I had the mild heart attack, the open heart surgery, and the bypasses. Because I had a condition in my heart that's hereditary known as the widowmaker.
Right.
It is a silent killer. And even in the hospital, I got there on a Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, and went in for the stents on Monday. Guess what? I had no idea because nothing, all the tests that they did on me, the widowmaker that snake did not raise its head out of the grass
Right.
one time.
Well, and real quick, if I can interject this, Jim, a lot of people, there's a misconception.
We're getting a little bit of feedback here.
Yeah,
on
we
the- on the
are.
phone here.
Make sure everyone's phones are muted.
Or turn, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. But one of the misconceptions is that widowmakers are notoriously with men.
That's right. And it's not.
That is a misconception that
Mhm.
that women can get widowmakers too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that we understand that because heart attacks, just like any disease out there, let's just be honest with it. Doesn't matter, pick one, A to Z. It doesn't discriminate.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, they just don't discriminate.
Mm-hmm. And another thing too, having the widowmaker with over 90% blockage in my heart, this thing sneaks up on you.
Right.
I mean, you get adjusted to not having the energy you used to have. And you probably think, well, it's because I'm getting older and uglier. The mirror proves that.
You're silly.
Thank you very much for laughing at that. No, but sincerely, it sneaks up on you. And then after I get this, I tell people I got a new 4-barrel on my heart. Afterwards, man, gee whiz. It's really good. Plus, it's a step in the right direction. And then you get in touch with someone like Dr. George Grant, and you can take your health to a new level and game over.
Mhm.
Dr. Grant, let's talk a little bit about the widowmaker before we get a little bit further into the heart that you want to talk about, some of the wonderful things you've done. Go ahead, sir.
Well, at age 18 years young, Jim, my mother passed away from the widowmaker, heart attack, and she had high blood pressure, diabetes, and I was 18 years young. So in her mid-40s, I lost my mom for that widowmaker. Basically, she had a heart attack and she never recovered from it. So at age 18 years young, I started to get interested in focusing, how do I prevent heart disease, diabetes, blood pressure, and heart attack? Because as you mentioned in the introduction, heart attack can affect men and women. And heart attack does not depend on age. Some people in their
Right.
mid-30s, mid-40s, mid-50s can have heart attack. So the best way,
Even children.
Yeah, exactly. So in my 45 years of experience, Jim, and after completing 3 doctorates, 3 masters, and 3 bachelor's degree, because I want to learn how to prevent this, I focus now on prevention instead of intervention, self-care instead of crisis care. And the best way to do this is to follow the website academyofwellness.com. And I tell my clients the first thing to start is do the Wellness IQ. 10 questions free of charge to show you what you eat, what you do not eat, and what's eating you for stress, because stress can be the first thing that can cause heart problems. And all of the other stuff can happen from our lifestyle habits, eating habits, drinking habits, because I found that people sometimes they do not drink, their 2 liters or 3 liters of water per day, but they drink more coffee or soda, and that can affect their heart. And they can also eat the wrong food at the wrong time, and they can overeat. They get obesity, and from obesity we get diabetes. We call it diabesity, and diabetes can cause heart disease. It can cause more than clogged arteries. So this is what I found from my 45 years of experience. I just turned a couple of days ago 73. I know I look younger, thanks very much. But I learned about, even though if you had bad genes from both parents and grandparents, you can still live healthy. You can still prevent disease. So how do we do this? After we do the Wellness IQ, you can go to your physician and do all of the ECG, AKG, blood test, CBC blood test. But I strongly recommend for your viewers to do what I did for you before you had the Widowmaker. I scanned you through a device called the virtual voice scanner. And it did actually show, Jim, that you had a little bit of problem with your left ventricle. The heart has 4 chambers, okay? Left ventricle, right ventricle, and then the aorta and the vena cava. Actually, it did show that. But unfortunately, it did not quite believe in this, and then you did not quite believe in all of the stuff that we did here for you. And I'm not blaming you, because most of our clients, when they see this, almost like a 3D MRI, PET scan, equivalent to ECG and AKG, they see everything about their body, about their heart. Sometimes people, very hard to change the lifestyle, extremely hard. But from my 45 years experience, Jim and Donna, what I found out, that if we follow the IM, FM, LM model, which means integrative medicine, functional medicine, lifestyle medicine, you can prevent the Widowmaker. You can prevent heart attack. You can prevent cancer. You can prevent diabetes. You can prevent the blood pressure. By taking medication, taking medication is not the answer. How do I know that? Well, I've got 25,000 clients in the past 45 years, and I've seen some of them taken 28 medications. We've done 2 bypass surgeries and 2 stents, and they still have 99% clogged arteries. The definition of insanity, according to Albert Einstein, is keep doing whatever you're doing and expecting different results or different solutions.
A different result.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, the cardiologist have seen this. By that time, he's 79. After 28 meds, 2 bypass, and 2 stents, he still have 99%. He had chest pain, we call it angina, tachycardia, arrhythmia, high blood pressure, high diabetes. So you keep adding meds, like 4 meds for blood pressure, 4 meds for diabetes, 5 meds for blood thinners. And all of this stuff still did not solve the guy's problem. So when I went to see him, I recommended change his lifestyle. His wellness IQ at this point here in 1998 was 15%, which basically means he's walking dead. So they sent him to hospice to die. They told him, because you're 79, we cannot give you any more meds. We cannot do any more bypass. We cannot do any more medications. Your liver cannot take all of this stuff. They sent him to hospice, palliative care, to die in 1998. So I came 1999, helped him to change his lifestyle. His eating habit was atrociously bad. I asked him, what usually you have for breakfast? He said, oh, nothing, just bacon and eggs. I said, you eat bacon and eggs and you have 99% clogged arteries. That's not really a wise thing to do. He said, I've been doing this for years and I like the taste of bacon. So you do not eat the things that you like. You eat the things that's healthy for you. I mean, so I told him to switch from bacon porridge or oatmeal, steep cut oatmeals. He said, no, I don't like this stuff. I don't eat this stuff. So I said, please, you got to change this lifestyle. You got to change this. So as a result, in 9 months, Jim and Donna, 50% open, no meds, no bypass, no stents. It's 1999 after working with him for 9 months. And he's actually living healthy today to 101.
101. Isn't that amazing? Sent home to be on hospice at age 79. And
Exactly.
ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you, if I may, the safety net that I thought that I had. My blood pressure was always good. 120 something over 68 to 74 on the average. You know, of course, blood pressure fluctuates, you know, very, very quickly, depending on your emotions and all that. But
temper.
And thank you for bringing that to my attention. I was going to omit that, but that's okay. But realistically, and my cholesterol levels were good. So like a bird brain, and I'm being very, very open and very, very honest with you folks out there in TV land. I thought, well, if my blood pressure is good, because my dad had heart problems, my brother had heart problems, but they had high blood pressure and they had high cholesterol. So if my blood pressure is good and my cholesterol, like 2 years before, when I was 71, it was at 73. And according to the standards that they have in the medical community today, hey man, you're good to go. And I thought
you're rocking and rolling.
I thought
and your
that
doctors even said that.
Yeah. And I thought that was my And I thought, Donna, my safety net, that was a safety net for me. But on October the 29th, 2021, when I had a mild heart attack, and that's what you do when you start feeling chest pains and stuff, you get up and go to the hospital right now. You don't mess around. That's how I knew my blood pressure was 190 over 111. But I found out the hard way that night that my safety net had a hole in it when I fell. I don't want you to go through that. That's no fun. And you know, Donna, I hear your kitties in there. Donna lives in a cat house. And
a plethora of them.
Yeah. Oh, what? What she said.
Yeah, that big word.
Yeah. But you know, Dr. Grant, when it comes to eating healthy and, you know, obviously I had to change my diet, and because I used to love cheese. I used to think I probably had some rat DNA in me the way I used to love cheese. But, you know, if you're eating something that's eating you, as Dr. Grant likes to say, you got to make a decision. What's more important to you, your taste buds or your life?
Yes.
And, you know, Donna, you've had your fair share of health issues and all that, you know, and my goodness, I'm just amazed at how you bounce back and everything. And I think you've got someone at your door, knocking at your door, don't you?
I have landscapers here, so I apologize, folks. I will be right back. I've got landscapers I got to deal with because the trees out front are pretty nasty. They need some trimming.
Yeah. We'll keep the light on for you and the door open, unlocked. Okay. Well, Dr. Grant, in your work and everything that you've done, what was the big, I don't want to say the big wow moment. People talk like that. But what was the turning point when you realized that you knew you were on the right path? You were on to something that the other doctors in the medical field thought maybe you were out in left field and lost.
It is the focusing on prevention instead of intervention. So why do you wait to have the bypass if you can bypass the bypass? So I tell my clients, if you had bypass before, maybe the first heart attack, then the bypass will solve that problem. But if you ever have the second heart attack, that could be fatal. For instance, this person here had first heart attack and it was 100% clogged. You can see here. And this is
Oh, yeah.
2004 when I saw him. And doctor said, if you have 100% clogged arteries, with the ECG and AKG, we cannot help you. So he told him actually 3 weeks. The other person was 3 months. This is 3 weeks. And this is 2004. You can see the dates right here, Jim. 2004.
Yeah.
Happy to
Yeah.
tell you, by improving his lifestyle, by helping him in the right path, by focusing on prevention instead of intervention, he cut back on all of his medication, and he's still alive today. So I think it's a really simple solution. Just do the wellness IQ. Like this guy here had a wellness IQ of 15.
Yeah.
This guy here has a wellness IQ of 12. Obviously, there was something wrong with their eating habits, drinking habits. Like they were drinking 3 cups of coffee per day and 2 soda. And when I told them to stop the soda and to stop the coffee, they told me it's impossible because I've been doing this for years and years. And I said, even if it's the cause for your problem, he said, okay, I'll try to drink water. And they start to drink the water.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's really a simple process to change gradually, to take baby steps to drink the water.
Yeah.
And I teach them how to drink the water and sipping it and keep the water in a glass, not in a plastic container. These are the tips that we give to our clients during the virtual voice scan. So if one of your viewers want to do this, just mention Jim Grant, okay? And then we're going to give him 50% discount on this AO scan. We teach him all of the eating habit, drinking habits. But before they actually see me on the scan, they do the wellness IQ. After they do the wellness IQ, then we will be able to see exactly what's the challenges that they have. Okay? So the scan provide 3 dimensions, almost like MRI, and all on their body organs, head to toe. So this is really critical to see where they are at now. And then if they want to see their physician do the stress test or ECG or AKG, that's fine too. They can do all of this, all of the stuff. They show the spine, all of the organs. Okay, so it's like a complete body scan.
Yeah,
it's only 15 seconds as I've done it for you, Jim, and it will be 200 plus pages report. Yeah.
In fact, that's a wonderful thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. You want to make sure once you get the scan, go to your medical doctor and say, this is what the AO scan showed. It's like a 3D MRI of my body. Let's get proactive here rather than having to be reactive like I was.
Exactly.
And, that's very, very important. And also too, do your own research. Look at subject matter experts, because I was concerned about having to take the statins that's prescribed for me.
Yes.
And I started looking into the side effects, and I'm going like, I don't like what I'm seeing there. So I went to cardiologists who believe in natural cures and natural treatments. And one of the things that I found that was really predominant with all of the cardiologists that I studied, because don't listen to John C. from Tupelo, Mississippi, or Mary J. from Chicago, Illinois. Who are they? I mean, they don't have any credentials. They're just giving you their opinion, and you don't need any opinions whatsoever. But what I found was that all of the cardiologists highly recommended dandelion.
Yes.
The weed. And they said you can take the leaf, wash it off, put it in a salad, or you can buy dandelion tea, which I do.
I do
and
too.
I drink either 2 hot cups a day or one big glass. Sometimes I drink 2. But one of the things that I've found is kind of like a nice surprise. I mean, I've never been overweight, but let's face it. I'm going to be 75 in August. I could always lose 5 pounds around my belly, But my point being, ladies and gentlemen, is that just by taking the dandelion tea over a period of time, because it doesn't happen, everybody wants quick loss, lose weight quickly and all that. And that's not really, I don't think that's a good path to go down, because you don't allow your body to adjust. And I know Donna wants to talk about that. Go ahead.
I do. Well, here's the thing. When we tell ourselves, first of all, and I know what I'm saying because I have lost over 100 pounds and I didn't do it overnight. We don't gain that weight overnight, folks. You cannot lose it overnight and be healthy. So if you do it in a gradual basis and not set yourself up in a measurement failure is what I'd like to call it. Do it gradually. Don't worry about it. You have to adjust the way you eat. You have to adjust your portions and let it go gradually. It took me over 2 years to get the weight off.
Yeah.
And understand, especially when you have lifetime changes, if something happens in your life, or say you're a smoker and you quit smoking shrinks your cells. So when you stop smoking, a lot of times you bloat back up like a blowfish because all the cells come back, and also you're substituting, right? You're substituting food for smoking. So just go slow and give yourself, this is my favorite saying, give yourself grace.
Amen.
Give
Because
yourself grace.
when I was in the hospital there, the most I've ever weighed in my life is 172 pounds. And I stand 5'10" and 3/4 of a half. But taking the dandelion tea, I was doing it for the heart reasons because of what the cardiologists were saying in studies.
Right.
Not opinions, but studies, bona fide studies that proved dandelion was an excellent herb for the heart. It also affects, what it does, it basically just lowers the inflammation in your body. That's what you'll see. So do your own diligent research, be prudent about it, discuss it with your doctor, but you will see that dandelion is a great herb and the tea is a great fluid to put into your body. But I got on the scales this morning, and I got down a few months ago to about 157 pounds, and I kind of wavered there for a while. And, I didn't pick a number. I'm just kind of like, wow, that's kind of nice, And I got on the scale this morning, and I'm just 1 pound under 150 pounds. And back when I was young and good looking, Donna didn't even laugh at that. I guess she's heard that joke so many times. But I consistently weighed 145 pounds. That was my natural normal weight when I was in my 30s, my 40s, and in my 50s. And then as I got in my 60s, I started to balloon up a little bit, But, Dr. Grant, dandelion, it is one of the tremendous herbs out there. Now, let me say this before I turn the mic over to Dr. Grant. What's good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander. So that's why you need to do your own research. You need to communicate with your doctor, do blood tests, do whatever they recommend to make sure you're headed down the right path. Just don't go out blindly like that. Because one of the things
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, one thing that makes me shudder is when some subject matter guru who is on TV and he talks about this is the next fountain of youth and everybody runs to it blindly. Please don't do that. Please don't.
Well, the other thing, and when we are working with inflammation within our body, when we are working with our energy in general, when we're working with trying to be healthy and lose weight, understand that the processed food in the world today is horrible for our body.
Amen.
The more natural you can get, the better off you are. So, you know what? I get it. Every now and then ordering a pizza or grabbing a pizza from the grocery, it's a quick meal. We're not talking about that once in a blue moon, right? Once in a blue moon isn't going to hurt you. It's when you make it a lifestyle. That's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, especially those chocolate donuts that are filled with Bavarian cream. Oh, to me, that was angel food. But Dr. Grant, you're real big about let your food be your medicine and please expand on that, sir, if you would.
Okay, before I even answer these questions, you look very good and handsome, Jim, at your young age of 75. You look pretty good. Okay. Yes. Excellent.
There's my muscle right there. See it pop up?
That's wonderful.
Pop down.
Yes. You're absolutely correct. Let your food be your medicine, and let your medicine be your food.
Mhm.
And I agree that when you said about the dandelion, it has a chemical compound called silmarin. Not only good for the heart, it's also good for the liver. It
Oh,
detox
yeah.
the liver from the pesticides and all of the stuff that we're consuming in today's. I also drink turmeric tea, which has curcumin. It's good, very healthy for the heart and liver and gallbladder. I
Mhm.
also drink green tea. By the way,
Mm.
all of these consider part of your water intake because they're basically mostly water and herbs.
Yeah.
And everything I'm saying here, it's evidence-based. After
Mhm.
publishing 250 papers, written 20 books, and completed 3 doctorate, 3 masters, and 3 bachelors. So everything we talk about here is really scientifically valid,
Mhm.
proven. I taught in the faculty of pharmacy, so I know all of there is to know about allopathic medicine. I taught in the naturopathic
Mhm.
medicine field. So everything we bringing you here in this episode about healthy heart and listen to your heart is evidence-based. And everything we
Mhm.
do here
Yes.
based on quantum frequency, it's also evidence-based because
Mhm.
this is all based on science. It's not fiction. Okay. So
Yeah.
yes, let your food be your medicine and medicine be your food. Focus on
Mhm.
prevention instead of intervention. And
Mhm.
before you take any medications, I'm not against medications. I'm not against big pharma. All I can tell you is this: if you have a choice between taking medication or taking natural herb, you have to look at one thing: toxicology and pharmacology. So if you take medication that cause side effect, like statin, for instance, so you have to look at the side effect. If it's this high and the side benefit is this low, if you take something instead of that, like resveratrol or grape seed extract, grape skin extract, ginkgo biloba, natural stuff, it has very high safety and zero, you know, toxicity. So you have to look at
Mhm.
toxicity and safety and balance them. And before you rush, as Donna was saying, for the things that you like bacon and eggs and sausages and processed food and packaged food, look at the natural food. Look at
Mm.
the vegetables and the fruits
Yeah.
that God gave us from the Garden of Eden. And we should
Mhm.
focus on this, and it has to be free from
Yeah.
pesticides, all of this stuff. So I educate my clients about this through the Wellness IQ. So I would strongly recommend for your listener to go
Mhm.
through the Wellness IQ because I do work with the sickest of the sick. You can, as I showed you here,
Mhm.
100% clogged arteries. Okay,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
99% clogged arteries. I also,
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you know the Jim and Donna, that I also work with the top US Olympic athletes, the top 10 and the top 10 Olympic athletes in Canada. So I work with the healthiest of the healthy and the sickest of the sick. Obviously,
Wow.
all of the athletes have to score over 90 to 92% on the wellness IQ before they compete. And all of the other
Mm.
people who are taking lots of meds, even if they're under 15%, like these people that I showed you here, we help them to do baby steps to improve their diet, lifestyle, what they eat,
Yeah.
and so on, what they drink. And then they go 45%, 55%, 60%, up until they reach like 75%, which is ideally for a healthy person. So
Mhm.
that's what we do. And then so we do the assessment through the inner voice scan, virtual voice scan. And if you
Mhm.
mention that show about natural health, just mention
Mhm.
Jim and Donna, and you get 50% discount at the academyofwellness.com. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, one good thing about that AO scan, Dr. Grant told me, he says, Jim, he said, I'm going to do the AO scan on you, but don't worry, this will not measure your mental capability. That was a blessing in disguise and music to my ears there, Donna, because I mean, it probably said, well, it didn't register too much on the mental side there, Jim. I mean, we we may have to, go through remedial training for that one.
Yes.
Are you
But
saying
it's
the bells weren't ringing?
The lights were on, but I had left the house.
It's basically, Jim and Donna, it's an assessment tool, not diagnostic tool. It's
Right.
to educate the client the status of their organ simply by
Yeah.
showing the color. So red means bad, green means good. It's
Mhm.
assessment tool. We do not diagnose
Right.
anybody. We do not tell anybody to stop medication or to
Yeah.
start medication. We don't do any
Yeah.
of this stuff. So basically, as you can see here from that scan, we can give 3D dimensions. And it will also show them food allergies because sometimes people have allergy toward cow's milk and cheese
Oh,
and they're not
yeah.
aware of it. And they start to tell me why. I mean, in the commercial, it says you should drink 3 glasses of milk per day and eat lots of cheese to have a stronger bone. I said, yes, but if you have some problem with the milk protein called casein or the
Mhm.
milk sugar called lactose, then you have to avoid that. And they ask me, what do I see as a sign of allergy. It will start like mucus in the morning. And that thick mucus, it will show that they cannot digest the casein or the lactose or both. And then some of the cow's milk, unfortunately, have the hormones and antibiotics, which can cause really a problem for people who have fragile liver and fragile heart.
Yeah.
It starts clogging the artery because it can affect LDL cholesterol and triglyceride. So we tell them, you know what, instead of taking a statin, why don't avoid the root cause of the problem? So all we do here, Jim and Donna, is to basically detect the root cause of their challenge. Find the exact discomfort. Find exactly what's their dietary habits, eating habit, drinking habits. To show everything on that 3-dimension scan right there. To show everything in their body. So if once they know that, and then they improve their wellness IQ and improve their diet, you know what? They can prevent heart disease. They can prevent stroke. And they can prevent. So that's what we do.
Yeah, because what you said there was very, very critical when you said about the 3 glasses of milk and all that. That's a prime example of what's good for the goose is not good for the entire gander. And that's true from the alpha to the omega on everything. So if you're listening to some guru on TV talk about the fountain of youth, do your research before you dive into the water. Make sure that it's not shallow and you're going to bang your head or something,
Right. Well, and a lot of people who are allergic to cow's milk can process goat's milk much easier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I know in our house we love it. We love goat cheese. I mean, if I could have goat cheese on everything, I think I would because it's so good.
Exactly, Donna. And they don't inject goats with antibiotics and hormones because it's a very small population. And I tell people, if you don't like goat milk or cow's milk, go to nut milk, like almond milk, coconut milk, and all of the other nut milk can actually prevent.
Don't get the sweetened.
Exactly. It can prevent osteoporosis, make your bone strong. And it does not have the phlegm or it does not clog the arteries and so on because there's no LDL cholesterol, there's no triglyceride. So a simple switch like this, just switch from cow's milk or goat milk to nut milk and switch your cheese to vegetarian cheese or something healthy like that. Then people start to see the benefit and they start to see their health improved, their wellness IQ improved, and they're eating the 8 vegetables per day and the 2 to 3 fruits per day. They follow the wellness IQ, and then they go to a physician and say, "What did you do? You look much better now. You do not need any medications for cholesterol, no medication for heart disease." And that is the step-by-step approach we take with them: detect, correct, implement.
That's the best path that I highly recommend to you is take it slow, take it easy, and just make sure that you do your blood tests follow your doctor's orders, your medical doctor, and make sure that the proof is in the pudding kind of a deal because that's very, very important. Don't ever trust what someone says as gospel because it may not be good for you. And you talked about goat milk there earlier. A lot of people don't realize that goat milk is naturally homogenized in the sack. It really is.
Right.
Cow's milk's not.
Yes.
And,
exactly.
Like I heard this one doctor he says, we were never, he had a country voice. He says, we were never made to go out as babies and nurse on a cow. That's for calves.
It's exactly. And that's 100%. And if you crave cow's milk once in a while, as Donna was saying, what? It's not a big deal to have an ice cream or to have a piece of cheese once in a while, but not on a daily basis. You got to watch for this. And then, by the way, I did some published research on cheese, and I found out that cheese has a chemical compound called casomorphine, come from casein, that actually can cause some addiction to cheese. So people who eat lots of cheddar cheese and processed cheese and cheese on the pizza, all of this stuff becomes habitual and become addictive. Like I'm sure you both know that sugar is highly addictive. I mean, if you don't know that, then watch somebody who's drinking soda, and then if you get the soda out of their body as if it's actually sugar is more addictive than cocaine in chemical sense.
Right.
Because you really have to watch if somebody drinking soda, you cannot take them off soda right away. You cannot take them off sugar right away. But let's say they're addicted to chocolate. Actually, chocolate is good for you. If you eat dark chocolate, it's good for the brain. It's good for the heart. If it has 80% cacao, because that actually becomes an antioxidant, prevent even a stroke and heart attack. So you see, addictive to something, like if you're eating milk chocolate, that is definitely not recommended. But if you eat dark chocolate, I'm talking about 1 or 2 squares, not the whole box. Okay, so that would be highly recommended in a moderation. So, and then switch from diet soda or regular soda to the best liquid that our body needs. 70% of it is made up from is H2O, a chemical compound called water. So we need this, because could you believe, Donna and Jim, that 25,000 clients, 95%, they drink more soda and coffee than water.
Yep.
I mean, this can put the body into imbalance. And see, wellness and health is balance. Imbalance is illness. So if we switch them gradually to go to water instead of soda or coffee, then we can actually induce a sense of homeostasis or balance in their body.
Well, also, I'd like to talk about this real briefly, but I think it's important. In our society today, we are inundated with fat-free. Fat-free, you know, you got fat-free sour cream, you got fat-free this, you got fat-free that. And honestly, there's just no polite way to say it, but it is a chemical sweepstakes.
Yes, I agree with you, Donna.
It is a chemical
100%. Yes.
Sweepstakes.
We need
what it does, it takes all the good out and they're replacing it with something. So, and anyone who knows me, who's watched the show, knows I love to cook. I cook and bake, and I do it very, very well. It is one of my love languages. You will never find one damn item in my house that says fat-free. Because, honey, if I'm going to cook it, it's going to have full fat and full flavor, right? Because I would rather have that, as God intended it, if you will, than a chemical storm in my body that's already got difficulties with autoimmune diseases.
Yes.
But I also help control my autoimmune diseases by what I put in my body.
Yes, 100%. In fact, the fat-free is totally... there's misconception about fat-free because it's usually have high sugar. Any food that's fat-free, it's also have high sugar. So I recommend, if you really want to look at the healthy fat, like if you eat an avocado a day, which is the healthiest fat you can eat, which is have, of course, no simple carbs, and it's really good for you. So the fat is never harmful, because they always say fat produces cholesterol, but you know what? Cholesterol is never the problem. The problem is homocysteine. So if you look at the biomarker, inflammation marker in the body, don't look at cholesterol. Yes, of course, if his LDL cholesterol get oxidized or triglyceride, but
it's what leads up to it.
Exactly. So, but the fat does not cause high cholesterol. It's the bad fat that causes that. So we have to select between good fat, bad fat, and ugly fat. The ugliest fat is the fried food. So if you depending on eating like KFC or fast food, I would recommend strongly to go switch from fast food to slow food. So you go from one of the commercial fast food to eat the slow food like salads and all of the stuff, and it with a little bit of chicken breast or something like this, or turkey breast.
Right.
Once you do the switch, like Donna is saying and Jim was saying, you're gonna see a great improvement. And if you want to lose some weight, like Donna and Jim was saying, go through intermittent fasting, 2 meals per day instead of 3 meals, and then go to intermittent keto fasting. I'm talking about healthy fat here. When you have keto, some people say, I'm going to go for keto. I'm going to eat all of the bacon I want because it's fat. I'm going to eat all of the sausage I want. That is not healthy keto. That's a sick keto. In fact, Dr. Atkins died from heart disease, from heart attack. So do not follow the keto diet blindly. Look at the research that Jim was saying. Look who is, telling you what to do. And everything I'm talking about here now is up after 250 papers published, evidence-based. We tell people to select healthy fat and then healthy proteins, and as low as possible, simple carbs. So if your breakfast, depending on eating cereal, commercial cereal, which has high fructose corn syrup, that is a very bad diet to start your day with. Because high fructose corn syrup, which is actually basically raise your blood sugar, can cause diabetes, and diabetes can cause obesity. And by the way, diabetes and obesity, I'm sure you know this, both of you, it is the next epidemic in the US, Canada, and Europe.
Yes, it is.
It's the next epidemic.
And one thing, go ahead, Donna.
Well, I was just going to say, when people think about eggs, if we have too many eggs, just having eggs every now and then is fine. But it's how we prepare them. So, so take your spinach, Take
Yes.
your onions, take your bell peppers, take whatever you want. And
Yes.
guess what? It's okay to sprinkle a scotchy bit of cheese on them,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? You don't want to drown them in,
Yes.
this much cheese and this
Yes.
much egg,
Yes.
right? But fill up because it's those veggies and
Mm.
fill up, put all the
Yes.
yummies in there. And
That's
the
it.
other
Yeah.
thing, if you like cayenne pepper and you like hot sauce,
Oh,
Yes.
that is fabulous. It
Yes.
helps, believe it or not, folks, it will help your system kickstart into losing weight. Why?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it helps burn, right? It goes in there, right? It's hot.
And not only that, Donna, it will actually increase blood flow to prevent heart
Exactly.
attack. Because
Right.
like I recommend on my Wellness IQ, if you look at it, you add half a teaspoon of lemon, baking soda, apple cider vinegar, cayenne pepper, turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon. What? Like every ingredient here has a meaning. You see, cayenne pepper actually increase blood flow. It will prevent heart disease. It will actually prevent clotting. And then turmeric has a curcumin. It's same as dandelion. We talked about the silmarin and so on.
Right.
So if you add half a teaspoon of this to 1 liter of water every day, it will detox your liver and your gallbladder and your kidney. And then you will not have heart attack, as I mentioned to Jim before during the scan, before he had the heart attack. Anyway, but you're absolutely correct, Donna. Prevention here is much, much better than intervention.
Oh, yeah.
And then eating eggs is not the problem ever,
Right.
having eggs.
Yeah.
But do not eat fried eggs all the time. Make sure it's boiled sometimes, and then you add the spinach, as you mentioned, broccoli, and all of the,
load that
peppers.
sucker up.
Exactly. You're right.
In my studies about the heart, I looked at, 100 years ago, heart disease was not a major issue.
Was
But
not
nowadays,
Yes.
nowadays it's the number one killer. And so I started looking into the history. And after World War I was over and we got into the roaring 20s, that's when processed foods started taking off.
Yes.
And if you look at processed foods, how it increased in our daily diet, you will see that heart disease runs perfectly parallel with it.
Yes, 100%, Jim, because actually fructose, high fructose corn syrup, when it was started to be used in our commercial, cereals and soda, the curve goes like this. For high fructose corn syrup in the past 20 years, it's the same as diabetes, same as heart attack, because some people think that high fructose can only cause diabetes, but diabetes can cause heart attack also. So if you really avoid, this is the things that we talk about in IM, FMLM, integrative medicine, functional medicine, lifestyle medicine. By the way, I'm not the only one who is saying this. Cleveland Clinic, if you look at the work of Dr. Mark Hyman, who I do respect at Cleveland Clinic, and by the way, I'm sure both of you know that I do collaborate with Cleveland Clinic, Johns Hopkins Clinic, Harvard Medical School in the International Pain Conference in Chicago 2015. I do work with these clinics, and they focus now on IM, FMLM before they focus on the allopathic prescription medicine. So if that's the case at Cleveland and Johns Hopkins Mayo Clinic, and Harvard now is putting some courses on integrative medicine, functional medicine, lifestyle medicine, obviously they have a room here. So it's not just a fad thing that is going to disappear in 5 years. In fact, it's going to go on the increase to prevent disease. So I'm predicting if we follow this path, we're going to actually prevent the occurrence of diabetes, obesity, we call it diabesity, and heart disease, hopefully in the next 20 years, particularly for teenagers, because teenagers it's really, look at their diet. Look what's happening in the school lunches.
Well, one of the things I always say to my husband, and we don't really buy store-bought bread, and I make it, and he said, okay, that's great, but honey, are you sure? And I said, yeah, because if I can't pronounce the damn ingredients in it, I don't need it.
Yes, exactly.
Donna, keep talking about that good food and what a great
white bread and white sugar and white rice. All of this stuff has to be eliminated from our diet. So you have to really look deep down what you put in your mouth here. Every bite, it can make you live longer and healthier to 101, even 111, or it can actually kill you faster at your young age. So we have to watch in every bite that we eat, it can actually make you healthy or it can make you sick. Every bite. So you have to know what you're putting in this thing there.
Sure. Sure. And growing up, I remember my mother, she had a degree in nutrition and was an incredibly bright woman. And she always would say, if you really want to eat well, you eat breakfast like a king, you eat lunch like a prince, and you eat dinner like a pauper.
Yes.
Because we overeat
Yes.
before we go to bed.
Yes.
And with the way society is and lifestyle is, we come home, we get off work, say between 5 and 6 o'clock, you pick up the kids, you hurry up, you get home, or you grab something on the way and you eat. And so you're done eating at, say, 7:30, you hurry up and get everybody in bed, and then you're exhausted. And then you lay, and that your body just does not digest.
Exactly.
It just absorbs, if you will.
Exactly. I agree with you, Donna, 100%.
For us baby boomers that, started out,
yes,
back in the 70s, when you went to a restaurant and you ordered a dish, they brought out a smaller dish. But now nowadays you go to a restaurant, and they act like you're going to share it with 3 people. I'm going like, there's no way I can eat all that. If I do, I'm going to need a wheelbarrow to roll my belly out of this place,
Right.
That's right. And then you have meat this big, and then you put meat and potato. Like, you know what? If you just follow the basic common sense, like Donna was saying here, breakfast 7:30, and then skip lunch, okay? And then dinner at 7:30. After 7:30 p.m., zip, no food. Because if you go to bed by 10:30, then you allow 3 hours for digestion. But if you start to eat greasy food at 10 o'clock, you're looking for this
bloat.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
because how can you digest this when you sleep? You cannot actually have a better sleep when your stomach is full. Because so it's important to follow intermittent fasting, to follow all of the healthy fat, as we talked about, healthy breakfast. If you want to have healthy lunch, a little bit of, carrot sticks and celery and spinach, that's fine too, or dark chocolate, something like that. And then dinner, 7 o'clock.
And those are great for snacks throughout the day.
Yes, exactly. Celery has 0 calories.
So
lettuce.
If you're hungry like me, I'm hypoglycemic. So I have to eat often.
Yes.
Right? So, it just depends on the day. But I may take a small baby bell.
Yes.
Right, and some veggies and some
100%.
nuts or what have you, and I mix it up.
Yes,
but I tend to eat often, small amounts.
Small amount. That's the key. That's the key. But do not overfill your stomach, because the stomach is the size here, like a fist. Sometimes when you go to a restaurant where they have like a full buffet, I can't understand why people will go 3 times. I know the stomach expand, but you can expand for so much. But then you're gonna end up with extra. Excessive luggage.
Miser belly.
Exactly. Yeah. And then in the butts and so on. So that's basic stuff that people can follow. Start with a wellness IQ, do the score, email Jim and Donna your score, and they're gonna tell you if you're healthy or not. Email me the score, I'll help you. And by the way, Donna and Jim, I offer free consultation. There's no cost here. Do the wellness IQ and then speak with me for 15-20 minutes, half an hour. There's no cost. Just book it at academyofwellness.com. Don't worry about any cost, and just mention Donna and Jim show, the natural health show, and then I can, if you need the scan, of course there's cost for this, but if you mention Donna and Jim, then you get half price. Okay. Yes,
that's a tremendous value there, because it's a it's a great tool that gives you a foundation of what the 3D foundation. Look at your body, at what condition you're in. And it's just amazing, because it picks up a lot of information that you're not aware of. And like I said, all of the medical tests that I did not reveal I had any problem at all. In fact, during that weekend I was in the hospital, they did a total of 67 tests on me. Now that sounds impressive, but you must understand, every time the blood pressure cuff would go off and measure my blood pressure, that'd be registered as a test. And
also, Jim, I'm sure you remember this. It'll show food allergy to tell you what food you're sensitive to. If you follow this food allergies here, it is not just like the simple prick from a needle to show you a couple foods. It will show every food in your body what you have allergy towards, what you have allergy towards here. It will show the inflammation markers. It will show how healthy is your heart. It will show something called CRP, which I recommend every viewers to do with your physician, because CRP, C-reactive protein, will predict if you're going to have heart problems or any of this thing. And I did this for you, Jim, and I told you your CRP is high during the test, and I told you have a problem with the left ventricle. So why don't we know this in advance? It's just like, advance warning. So it'll show you everything here, red flags right there. It'll show you all of the stuff here about your body. Okay, how about we do this, Donna and Jim? Pick up 5 names from your viewers. Just pick up any 5 names, and then we'll give them 5 complimentary AO scan worth $295. Okay. And then the rest of the viewers, they don't have to pay $295. They only pay $150. Okay, because of the
all right.
Here. 5 names. Just pick up 5 names at random and send them to my website. And just mention the code here is Donna and Jim. That's the code. If they mention
Donna
that, then
and
I
Jim.
on the show.
Yep.
And the first 5 will get complimentary scan, and then we're going to go through them. How is that for a free gift to prevent heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and even cancer?
Yeah.
And you know
And
what?
one of these,
Have more energy.
Yes.
That's the other thing, right?
Exactly.
When we get rid of, and I'm all about energy. When we eat the right foods,
Yes.
and we get our energy right, our emotional energy gets in line with our physical energy by what we eat. You live a higher vibrational life.
And that's the key, Donna. In fact, in this device here, measure quantum energy and quantum vibration. And this is the work by Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, and Dr. Rife, who's actually, it has a Rife frequency in there. So we do the assessment here based on this, and then we increase their initial energy to go higher energy. Like if we have high energy like Donna and Jim and like me, they're going to be so dangerous because they're going to
because we're getting real close on time, ladies and gentlemen, where we got to shut down here in just about a minute or so. But I want Donna and I, on behalf of Dr. George Grant, we want to thank you for tuning in today. And we want you to be able to sing James Brown's old song, I Feel Good, because that's what we want in our heart.
That's right, Jim and Donna, because I aspire to inspire until I expire. And the key is this: live, learn, love, let go, and leave a legacy. These are my secrets of living.
There you go. Yes. Well, Donna, we've had a wonderful show today.
We have.
We got to bring Dr. Grant back more often and talk about some more things like this, because this is what this show's about. We provide good infotainment, because there's information you'll hear here on this show that you don't see others. And that's why our show was actually picked to work with Emerson Brantley and Mike Lewis. And they're just very impressed with our style and what we have accomplished through hard work, but it's also what we have accomplished because you folks out there in TV land tune in and watch us.
Absolutely.
And from the bottom of our heart, we thank you. And as we close, we always like to say that we sincerely hope that you and your loved ones are healthy, happy, and blessed in all areas of your life. Remember to love yourself first, then you can love others. And as Donna likes to say, be sure and remember to give yourself
plenty of grace, folks.
Plenty of grace. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you have a wonderful evening, day, whenever you see this. If you see it video on demand, thank you so much. Be sure and share this great information with others. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.